Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's clip, we're just going to break down the Stefon Diggs trade. The Houston Texans receive Stefon Diggs, a fifth and a sixth-round pick, and the Buffalo Bills receive a second-round pick next year, plus a lot of dead cap money. And we're going to get into it. But before we do, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and give us your thoughts on the trade in the comments down below. And yeah, tell us what you think this does for each team and what would you grade it for each team. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into both sides of this trade, what I think it does, not only for the teams, but also what it does for the division. And again, this is before the draft. So we'll see what happens in the draft because we know big trades can happen. So let's start with the Buffalo Bills side of this. The Buffalo Bills have lost a lot of good players in free agency this year. Diggs, Poyer, White, Davis, Floyd. They lost a lot, and it's so hard when you have to start paying your franchise quarterback money. You kind of hurt in other areas. You because of the money you pay your quarterback, and that's what we're seeing here. Now, the Stefon Diggs trade, however, is kind of random because they end up still having that money as dead cap. So there really was no reason to get rid of him other than maybe his locker room presence. I don't want to put that out there, but that's the only thing I can really think of is that he's just maybe too much of a pain in the butt for the team that they're like, listen, our chemistry will probably be better if we just let him go somewhere else. That's what I think happened. I don't know, and I don't want to like put that out there, I guess, as a rumor, like, oh, he's a bad locker room person, because we just haven't heard anything. But that's the only thing that I can think of that makes sense for this trade, because to me, the Bills lost this trade. They lose their number one wide receiver. Their wide receiving core does not look good. Like Mac Holland is one of their Curtis Samuel. Like they don't have a solid wide receiver core where they could give up Stefon Diggs. And if you're a defense, you game plan for someone like Stefon Diggs. Now that's one less person that defenses have to worry about on any given Sunday. So it's surprising to me because for the Bills, I feel like their window is still open. Their Super Bowl window is still open, but it's shrinking, man. And after this trade, it's shrunk to the point where I'm like, man, I don't know if they would be a top 3 Super Bowl contender in the AFC right now. So I don't really care for this trade for the Bills. As a Bills fan, I wouldn't care for it. I talked to my friend Avery. He's a Buffalo Bills fan. He didn't understand the trade. It doesn't make sense to him. I would say as a Dolphin fan, it's good for us because that just means that that's less that I have to worry about playing the Bills every Sunday. Now, with that being said, what does it mean for the division? I think that the Jets and the Dolphins, their talent is better than the Bills' talent, their overall talent. However, the Bills still have the best quarterback in the division. And as long as he plays like he's a top 5 quarterback, top 3 quarterback in the NFL, the Bills are going to be a problem. They will get to 9, 10, 11 wins every year. We've seen it with quarterbacks all the time. When you have the better quarterback in any division, you have the upper hand no matter what the rest of the roster looks like. So for the Bills, I still think I would still put them as a favorite in the division to win it. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just trying to be balanced. Maybe I'm being too balanced. I can admit that. However, I think the gap has closed and the Jets and the Dolphins are now right there. Right? And I think that's a bummer for Bills fans who are starving for a Super Bowl appearance and a win. And their team has been so close the last couple of years, but this definitely puts them a little farther back. Now, draft is coming up. Maybe they draft a couple wide receivers, but what blows my mind is it wasn't even a second-round pick this year. It's a second-round pick next year. So I don't know, maybe they're starting to retool for next year. Maybe that's their goal, and that's totally fine. Now, for Houston, the Houston Texans have had themselves an offseason, to say the least. they got Joe Mixon. They went out and got Danielle Hunter. I mean, they went out and got CJ Henderson. Like, they're out there getting individuals that go ahead and help like help CJ Stroud win games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that the Texans have done everything they could this coming year to compete for a Super Bowl, even because if CJ Stroud was that good as a rookie and he takes another step, I mean, what are we talking about here? He might be up there with Patrick Mahomes next year, Joe Burrow, like in that kind of conversation, Lamar Jackson. It would be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. And now that he got an extra weapon like Stephon Diggs, I think that's going to open up so much more for them. They got Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. They signed in free agencies. They still have the draft. They went on and got some offensive linemen too. So I just really think that with the team that they're building, DeMeco Ryan, what they're building, their defense, I really, really like what the Texans did this offseason. If Diggs is a locker room problem, I think the Texans only have him for 1 more year or 2 more years, so they can deal with it. I think it's 1 more. I should have looked it up. I didn't. Sorry, guys. But either way, I think that maybe it's one of those things with someone like Stephon Diggs. It might be this thing where, like you only can handle him 3 to 4 years and then you got to ship him out, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So it could be the case here where the Bills had him for a couple years and they're like, okay, we're good. We're ready to move on from Diggs. And that's what happened. And now Diggs is, in Houston, 30 years old, and he's going to be so much help for that offense for CJ Stroud, give him his true number 1 option. For the division, I think this makes them favorites. I'm going to love, like, the AFC South has become a sneaky fun division with Anthony Richardson, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, and Will Levis, who we'll see what he is. But man, that division is going to be fun next year and the years to come because all their quarterbacks are so young. And it's so funny because last year I was talking to my friend Luke, who is a Jaguars fan, and it's like the Jaguars could really take a stranglehold of this division going into next year. And what we saw was the Texans come out of nowhere, and now it's like maybe the Jaguars are going to be the 3rd best team in this division moving forward. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different video. But anyway, that's all I got. I really love the trade for the Texans. I think it was a good trade. You didn't pay up a whole lot for Diggs. You got to keep all your picks still this year that you had. So I really like it for the Texans. I don't understand it from the Bills side. Maybe we'll get some more news coming out that will reveal some more stuff to us. Again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.